watching video today. So today is, oh, wait, let me just double check. Yep, I am recording here, just making sure. Today is Wednesday, the 7th of December. And today we're going to talk about truth, honesty, and integrity. Truth, honesty, and integrity. I'm going to give you some why this comes up almost daily. This topic comes up in a conversation with at least one agent. And a lot of you probably saying, why? There's every day you're talking to someone that's not truthful or someone that's not honest, someone that might not have integrity. No, that's not it. Today, I'm talking about that gray area. In real estate, dealing with people, there's a gray area, sorry about my phone there, of handling situations, negotiations. You know, some people think being honest with everybody in a transaction means telling everything. Some people believe that being honest, truthful, and having integrity is only doing what is legally responsible, legally what you have to do. So I'm going to give you some examples of that, and I'm going to give you my opinion that sometimes people disagree with me on, and of course, I've hopefully, and I'm saying this because I feel being more truthful, more honest, because it's all relative. When you're dealing with two people, this is my experience, 30 years in business dealing with people. It's all relative. Am I being honest? If I'm communicating with you, whoever is listening to me, am I being honest with you? It's all relative. Do they think I'm being honest? Do they believe? Because sometimes you're being honest and they totally don't think you're being honest. Are you being truthful with everything you say? Of course, in negotiations and transactions, almost daily I get agents like, I don't think that other agent's telling me the truth. Do they have multiple offers? Do they not have multiple offers? This is the lowest that the seller can go or highest the buyer can go? It's a negotiation, and there's a gray area of being honest and truthful in negotiations. And I'll give you an example that comes up. So a little bit of training, in my opinion, is that example. I had a seller yesterday, one of our sellers, and this comes up and they go through the property disclosure. Tony, the seller goes, should I disclose? First thing I say to any agent, my seller asked me, should I disclose? The first thing out of my mouth before I go, stop, before you say my opinion, yes, whatever you're going to say, yes. Do they legally have to disclose that? Maybe not. Maybe it was before they built the house. Maybe it's something that they fixed 8-10 years ago. Maybe the way they're reading it on the property disclosure form, it's not legally required. So I get in these conversations at least once a day with an agent, what's legally required and what my opinion and what I say is suggest of what needs to be disclosed. This is just one example of that. And my opinion is be over honest, over truthful. Because when people ask me this is why, because example with disclosing things on a house. If that buyer, even though you're legally or not legally disqualified, finds out later on that you didn't disclose something, even if you legally don't have to, and there's nothing wrong with the property, they'll feel that you lied to them. Now, some sellers will go, I don't care. I don't mind. I'm just going to do minimum legally what I'm required to do. But not to get too much into this, where this truth and honesty and how it's relevant or to whoever is getting the information. If that, you follow me, like that seller says, I'm being 100% truthful and honest of what the law requires me to do, and now the buyer after closing feels you didn't. But those things can enter into legal issues. So there's not a clear-cut black and white answer to this. This is just it's what the people feel truthfully, what they think that they feel they need to over disclose, what's not legally required but should disclose. Again, in my example here, I'm not saying specifically what it is, but it's nothing major. Okay. I'm not saying that there's something major about that, the smallest detail, but that's where that's why I'm using this as an example. There's a gray area, because sometimes when I start talking about this topic, people go, oh, there is just 100% clear. This is either truthful or honest, or it's a lie, and they're deceiving, and they have integrity or not integrity. It's not that way all of the time. It's just up for interpretation of how far you want to go. Because in selling houses and buying houses, the other side's a negotiation. There's certain things that are going to be said, not said. Of course, there's things that are legally required to be done and not required to be done. Another example is multiple offers. I get this a lot. We went through this a lot. My opinion all the time when we have a seller, my opinion and my experience, always tell the buyer we're in multiple offers. And this came up a lot in the last couple of years with all the multiple offers, but legally, you're not required to tell people you're in multiple offers. You don't have to tell people. You don't have to tell people what the other offers are. You don't have to tell people how many offers are there. But some agents feel that they're being not truthful. They're not honest, because they're not telling the other buyer's agents the whole story of what's happening with the property. So again, there's that gray area. Some agents go, I feel I need to tell them because it's being truthful. Well, where's that truth? Where's that line of what your seller is asking you to do and what you legally have to do and what you feel is truthful and honest? Now, of course, ultimately, the honesty and being truthful and having integrity is always the best possible path to go. But again, there's that gray area. Not lying, it's part of the negotiations. Legally, what you can, you don't have to say and not say in part of a transaction. And we get in these gray areas all of the time with negotiations of what you should say or don't have to say, or disclose or not disclose about what's happening in a transaction. So the best thing I could say to you is, Century 21 Homestar agents, please always call me. Call, text, email me. We'll set up a time. We'll discuss and collaborate what situation you're in, what's happening, so you could be as honest and as truthful and have integrity throughout the whole transaction, with the best interest of your buyer or seller involved. What legally has to be done, what not legally does not have to be done. Where we do our best to protect our sellers. Like example, my personal opinion, any of our agents, or any agent that watches this, when it's our seller, I always suggest anything that is completely possible that could affect the buyer's decision to buy or sell your house, disclose. My opinion. And the first thing a seller might say is, usually this is, well, Mr. or Mrs. Seller, why don't you want to disclose that? Well, it might stop them from buying the house. Exactly. They're going, if a buyer comes up to buy your house and they don't buy the house because of something you disclosed, exactly, that buyer, if they found out later, even though not legally you have to do it, they're going to feel deceived. They're going to feel like you lied, that you weren't truthful, you weren't honest, you didn't have integrity, and that could equal liability in lawsuit. I've seen it happen all the time. Lawsuits against stuff that legally the seller did not have to disclose. Our buyer sometimes, our seller sometimes, but they could still come after you legally. Sorry, I'm going into some training here. So my opinion on being truthful, being honest, is what the other side views. Did you not tell them the whole story? Did you not explain in detail exactly what happened? Where are you? Because there's us as agents, we are, and hopefully we've tick up the ladder a little bit, but when they do studies and question people about the integrity of different people in different businesses and different industries, we've always, unfortunately, been really low, like just a few steps ahead of used car salesmen. of people out there that are their customers, are the public, think that realtors don't have much integrity, that they're doing whatever they need to do to get a deal done. You don't want to be one of those agents. You want to be honest. You want to be truthful. You want to have integrity when dealing with clients and explaining what's going on. Because as a broker and owner selling thousands and thousands of houses a year, we have to deal with clients that feel our agents aren't sometimes, because they find out something, well, your agent should have said this or that. And we have to defend that we did everything that honest, we did everything truthful, we told you everything we know, and we do have integrity in our business. But that situation, something, whatever reason, they felt that you're going to have that. It's just a numbers thing. You can't keep everybody happy, but you want to do your best to, my opinion, overcompensate, go above and beyond, make sure that they understand that everything that you're doing, that you're open book as much as you want, disclosing everything you need to disclose, keeping everybody up to date and all parties, a total disclosure of what's happening with everything in a transaction. Within that, you decide that gray area of what legally needs to be done, what ethically should be done, and what your clients, and looking into your client's best interest. But again, last, I'll leave you, when the Century 21 Homes are agents, if you're not sure, call me. I have dozens and hundreds of examples of things that have happened over 30 years, and how to navigate those decisions in your transactions and in your business. So that's it for today. Have a wonderful Wednesday, and we'll see you tomorrow on Thursday. Bye-bye.